Welcome to Ball Masters Football. We'll be discussing the top six today. To my right, I have Coach Kaya. To my left, I have Coach Alfie. And yeah, let's get into it. This first team we'll be talking about is Spurs. Wolves. They drew obviously 2-2 against Chelsea. What was your make of the game?
On Chelsea vs Spurs?
Yeah.
I think in the last video I kind of summed it up.
Mm.
Really, I wouldn't say poor from Spurs, but it's just as if they had no game plan really. They kind of sat back, waited for a counter attack, and then obviously worked. But I think Chelsea were robbed on that game in my opinion. I don't understand how pinning someone's hair is not a free kick, especially if it goes to VAR as well. I don't understand that's not a free kick. So.
Yeah, as Kai said, it's spot on what you said. I think Chelsea were robbed, and Tottenham didn't have a game plan. I think Antonio Conte knew that. Obviously, he was an old Chelsea boss, and he knows that playing at Stamford Bridge is hard. It is, but I think Tottenham, as Kai said, tried to sit back and just catch them in the break. But I think Tottenham will learn from it. I personally will, because as we all know, they've got that firepower to go, and they've got players to do a job. I think against this week, I think Tottenham will put in a fight.
Yeah, it's a tough game. To go for any team to go to Stamford Bridge is going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
I think out of the two teams, I thought Spurs would have settled for a draw, especially the second opening game. 4 points out of 2 games isn't a bad start, especially when you're coming off the back of a win against Southampton. It was the opening game, and then a tough game to go to Chelsea and to get a point. I would take that. I think for any team to go there to get a point, I'll be happy with that. Especially if as we would agree that they didn't play the best, and they were still able to grind that result. I would say maybe going forward they're quite strong. I think it's just quite a question marks defensively for Conte to sort out. I think what I did like was their resilience to still go a goal down, to get back into it and go a goal down again, and then to be able to get it at the end. So it shows a little bit of fight and resilience where maybe a Spurs team in the past would have maybe lost that game.
Yeah.
So it just goes to me personally, I think it's just a bit of progress possibly.
I agree. I think Antonio Conte will know that performance wasn't good enough. I think he will go, and I think the players know that. So I think against Wolves coming up this week, I think he will go and say to them, last week it was a tough game, but I think Tottenham will fight back. As much as I don't want them to, but they will, and we know they will.
Can I ask you guys a question? Do you think Antonio Conte will be there in the long run?
No, I think he's a coach he's someone that will he doesn't really stay many places long. So I think he's a bit like Mourinho, where he'll be there over. I think if you want a short-term fix, or you want someone to come in and win trophies and win the fans over, he'll be the person that you want to appoint. I think if you're looking at someone that is for the long term, you may want to get someone that may not be as ambitious, where if things go wrong, they may want to stick with it and continue. Whereas Conte, I remember at some point he was looking at leaving or stepping down to see if he may not feel that he's got that in him to be able to take the team on.
You see, now I have a different point. I think Conte is going to stay in the long run. I think he's going to be here for another 2-3 seasons, mainly because I think he's adjusted the team to his playing style. He's brought players that he wants in for kind of a long-term run, like Richarlison. He's brought in that rabbit from Udinese, and he's let him go on loan again.
Yeah.
So to me, that tells me that he's going to be there for the long term, bring players he wants back in, and there's going to be more progression.
But as you know, it's a results game, so as much as he may want to be there another 3 to 4 years, if
something don't go right, then he's
because for me personally, in that time they've had a lot of managers. They have had a lot of managers, and they've had Mourinho. They sacked him, and I think to me with Conte, I don't think he's any different.
I think personally that if they don't win a trophy by next season, he will go. Because Conte will.
True.
Well, Conte's a winner.
Conte is
a winner.
That's a good point to make, because again, Conte usually he would have won a trophy.
He's for Inter.
No, he doesn't sell for centre play.
Chelsea, I think for me, he's someone that wants to win and wins. He knows how to win, and I just think he's not used to the top. I think is he going to be the one to maybe break Tottenham's hoodoo curse? Yes, but is he going to be there long term? I don't know. Because I said if Barca comes calling, or if Real Madrid come calling, he's off.
Because Ancelotti,
Exactly. So that's another thing
Yeah,
what
true.
they could be worrying about. The next, just wanted to say before we move on to the next one, again, obviously a shout out to the fourth officials that the referee that gave the managers the Anthony Taylor the red card to the coaches, because said again that isn't a way to behave on the touchline, and I just thought the mannerisms and the two technical the coaching staff, I should say, getting into scraps.
As well.
Yeah, I just thought it was uncalled for, and I just felt, I know it's a London derby, but I just think that there just needs to be less
There's a line.
Discipline.
Yeah, there's less of that. I think you're professional, so you just behave. You've got kids watching.
I think Antonio Conte knows that though. He's been around long enough.
Yeah.
But I think it's more the passion than anything else. But I just think they just need to just behave themselves a little bit more. So moving on to Arsenal against Leicester, obviously winning their game comfortably. Obviously, again, obviously he was at the game, but what do you think in terms of Arsenal, how they're ticking overall? How do you feel they're going?
I think
Two games in.
very smooth right now. I think now at this point in time is when we need to win our games.
Yeah.
Our first five is that we have to win, because I think last season we realised that we came short, and that's mainly because of games that we lost that we possibly could have had a fight against. I think away at Palace, 2-0 win, solid. Home win at 4-2 versus Leicester is a very, very solid win, considering the 2 goals Leicester scored weren't really a creative kind of goal from Leicester.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate, I think.
Yeah, I think going forward, very positive. We lacked the depth last season, we lacked it a lot. So I think now we have depth to Tierney, who was a massive miss. We have covered up front, we have a striker now. We have a Tomiyasu back, we have proper centre backs.
So just going back to that point, have you heard that Tierney got injured in the showers?
In the showers. I don't know what to make of that,
I
but
don't-
at least you got Zinchenko.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think obviously again we'll be doing a show on the review of the All or Nothing Arsenal documentary on Amazon. What do you think the players have just brought into what Arteta's doing now? Obviously, especially after 2 games, a lot of praise has to go to him as well.
Yeah,
They do for their transfer dealings and their business. I think you can see that there is a discipline. You can see that there's a hunger as well. I think everyone's battling, everyone's working together.
There's no one hiding now either.
No.
No one is.
No.
Everyone's taking a step up.
Yeah, and I
Everyone's
think you especially when you imagine now, no disrespect, you're someone like, you're someone like Partey now, and you're looking to your right, you're seeing Jesus over there. Looking to your left, you see Zinchenko over there. So they're again. You look sent forward. You got Saliba there. So
You're not really worried anymore.
yes, you've got all of that confidence that builds that. Yeah, I know if I make a mistake, someone's going to be able to come in and chip in. But I think for me, they are doing a fantastic job at Arsenal.
I personally think you've got to give credit to the backroom staff as well. Because even from what I've seen of All or Nothing, and again we'll do another video on that. No, and him, that speech was desirable.
Would that motivate you?
Well, I mean, I'll give my motivation Monday soon. No, but I think no. I'm not saying the good job. No.
Keep it to yourself.
Alright, but no, I think you saw in that All or Nothing that the backroom staff do more than just take sessions. They are there for the players. It's a desire to be there. You see the players around them as well.
Yeah, the another shout out and a lot of praise needs to go to the personal development coach.
Carlos.
See that? See, I didn't bother to say his name because I was
I
going to butcher his
his
name
name.
if I did it. If I get, I know I'm going to get it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it
I
wrong.
think it's Carlo or was it Carlo or something?
Yeah.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
So I think you can see that again, mental toughness. You know, being resilient. You know, you can see that maybe all that help that they've done, maybe over pre-season, even their trip to Dubai. Remember that they had that little break. That's an opportunity for to have Arteta to be able to stamp his thing on Arsenal.
I think now, sorry to interrupt, but I think now we've kind of come together as a club.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no, you know, our club isn't divided no more. The fans are
Until
all with the players until we mess up. But
yeah.
it's as if the fans are. I mean, after Saliba's own goal, there was no booing. It was cheering.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get him going again.
I think as well. I think they could all see that with any person that scores an own goal or makes a mistake, that you know that there's going to be some form of you know, negative and disappointment. So it's just about motivating him, and he's man of the match first game.
He's been solid in both games.
Yeah,
I think. Sorry, go on, Karen.
My question to you both is: now that we've got depth, when Tomiyasu's fit, who plays out Ben White and Tomiyasu? On the left, when Turney gets fit, who plays out of Turney and Zinchenko?
I think for me, when Tomiyasu's 100% fit, I think we go Tomiyasu. Mainly because he knows that right back role. His overlapping runs are way better than Ben White anyway. All praise to Ben White, he's been solid when he's played there. But I think you have to give it to Tomiyasu, and Ben White's got to fight for his position at centre back. And then left back, I think because Zinchenko isn't all in, all out left back, I think we keep him there for now. We don't rush Tierney because he is injury prone. Don't rush him. You know, give him his time to recover, and then gradually ease him into left back.
Okay. That's some wise advice there. Yeah, I agree with that. Alfie, you think you want to chip in?
Yeah, I agree. I think Tomiyasu fits that right back role. I think Ben White, he's doing a good job. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's not his natural position, and we both know that. All three of us know that. But I think that left back role is going to be a bit of rotation. I think for now, as far as I'll keep Zinchenko, or Zinchenko, as we like to say.
Yeah.
See, correct myself, on track. But I think if Kieran Tierney's fully fit, I'd see how Zinchenko gets in the field personally.
Can I say something? I don't want to baff on about Arsenal too long, but I would, because he played there for Leeds, I would want to see Ben White maybe play as a CDM, so other defensive midfielder. Not against a top club or anything. Maybe like an FA Cup game or something, or Carabao Cup game. I want to see him try play midfield.
I want to see. I want to see Tillemans with the Arsenal shirt. Tillemans in that position.
That's like the young United right now. Nothing's happening.
I want to see Tillemans, but yeah, no, I agree. I think we have the opportunity. We've got depth to be able to rotate, and again, you know, Xhaka, you don't know how long he's going to be on the bloody pitch for. So all it takes is for him to catch a suspension, and then all of a sudden now, you know, Ben might have the opportunity.
I was going to say this last week, but I totally forgot. His discipline, from what I've seen from the back end of last season and the start of this season, it's been tremendous.
Yeah.
Compared to what he done, because I remember when all three of us was watching the Crystal Palace game, I said to you, it's another yellow card, he's going to get sent off. He is. And if that was last season, he would have done. He would have been gone within 10 minutes.
He's turned it around a lot.
He has, and that's a big shout goes to him, because again, he's now part of our captain. So he is. He's part of our.
Yeah, I think you're going to do a commentator's curses next on Sunday against this weekend. This week against Bournemouth, and he gets sent off.
If he does, he's got the fire.
If he does, we blame out.
No, if he does, he's got the fire. But yeah.
Swiftly moving on, we've got Chelsea. Obviously, their game against Spurs. What do you think? How Chelsea? Obviously, we know we spoke about Spurs earlier against Chelsea. How do you feel that Chelsea did against Spurs?
I think defensively, there weren't really a problem.
No.
I think it's more going forward. I think, like we said before on the channel, they need a creative midfielder. I think having
striker.
definitely a striker. They need a big presence in the box. Kai Havertz did well, but I think they need a big presence in the box. Someone that's more of an aerial threat compared to Kai Havertz. So
would you agree? Maybe there might be some games where he can play as a striker.
yeah, definitely.
Depends on what defence you're up against, I guess. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
So I think the Armando Broja, the Albanian striker they have, when he was playing for Southampton last season, he was quite good. He weren't really disappointing. So I think maybe trying him up front.
Sorry, question for that. Do you think it's just how Chelsea play? Because I think obviously Southampton play a different system to what Chelsea play.
No, I don't because he drops the links up play. He's good in the air. He gets his head on everything. I think he could be a really good striker for Chelsea. It's just giving him the chance. He hasn't really got a chance.
I think for me, Chelsea, you could arguably say is the closest striker to Drogba and maybe had that much impact in a short space of time would be Diego Costa.
Yeah, he was quality.
Diego Costa had that. What did you say, sorry?
I said Rishi Batshuayi.
It's nice, yeah.
It's a joke. Oh, that's a joke. If I'm watching that as a joke.
Yeah. But we got. I think for me, Diego Costa, and I think where he's played as like a target man, and he's bullying a lot of defenders. I think they need someone. I think they tried that with Lukaku, didn't work, and then they've gone back to the drawing board.
They tried with loads of strikers, Morata, Higuain, just didn't work.
I just think
It's
that
number 9.
yeah, I just think that striker position is very, very. It can either go well or it can go horribly wrong. And I think at this present moment in time, I think the difference for Chelsea, why I don't think they're as successful as they have been previously, is that they haven't got a good striker.
Yeah.
I think obviously I noticed recently, but before they used to only play with one target man. Now they're playing with like 4-3-3, or they may play with the usual play with 3 strikers, which again you may have Mason Mount, who may be the creative players behind another false 9 possibly. But yeah, I thought. I'm gonna butcher this guy, defend his name. What's his name? Koulibaly. Yeah, that's it. I was right, but I wasn't too sure. Yeah, that defender, his technique on that volley was superb.
He's ruthless as well. I like it. He's ruthless.
He just went that, and the thing is to hit first time, no bounce, and to
See,
smash it.
most defenders would go forward a bit more to try and get ahead on it, but he didn't. He persevered with it, and he knew that it actually.
Go and check.
He knew that it was the point, and even if it didn't get payoff, he still gave it a go, and yes, it paid off in that way.
Yeah.
But I think with Chelsea, I think it's going to be hard for them to. It's going to be hard for other teams to score with Chelsea this season.
Yeah. Unless they, I think they get a big injury to Thiago Silva or Koulibaly.
Yeah, because them two combined.
Again, there was talks of what's the chap's called again? Fofana.
Yeah, but
So
he's asking price.
But again, obviously, imagine he's tied into a long-term contract where they can do that, and that's what I said to you again. Leicester know full well that Chelsea needs a defender. So now that I know that you desperately need of one, I'm just going to just double the money on top of it.
True.
So where you may would have got him for maybe 60 million or 70 million.
It's now 100.
And that's the problem. What I'm saying, Man United was in. Moving on to Newcastle. Man City. Sorry. Man City, Bournemouth. Again, City, running away with it.
Another
At the Etihad. Kevin De Bruyne being the star of the show. And obviously again, Foden should have scored it, which I think would have made it 5. But yeah, what's your thoughts, Kyle?
I think once again a really dominant City performance. I said on the previous episode that you can't sit back against City. I think Bournemouth, what they tried to do, the game plan was either sit back against City, try to go out for a draw, or go all out for it. And they didn't go all out for it. They sat back, they let City attack, and it just didn't work. De Bruyne was running rings around the midfield. Haaland causing problems. Even though he had 8 touches, he was still causing problems at the back.
8 touches and a shot.
Yeah, it was
If he squared it, if Foden would have squared it, it would have been a shot.
He was causing hassle at the back.
Yeah.
And I think the whole Man City team, if they don't get an injury, I think they could do this.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with. I know that he's been I know that he's captain. So who's the is it
Gundogan.
Gundogan? Is it Gundogan?
Gundogan. Well.
Yeah, but he stepped up.
Yeah.
I think he scored some important goals for Man City.
We won the league.
Yeah. So I think for me, I'm quite happy that he's captain. I think he's been there for quite a long time to win a lot of trophies there. And yeah, I'm really happy that he's
Get some
getting some recognition as well. 'Cause I know he was kind of like in the shadows of Fernandinho, De Bruyne, Silva, Rodri as well. So I think he's able just to come out. Obviously, remember he was playing for false nine and he was scoring back. He was scoring lots of goals. So I thought he was doing really well.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Craig, mate. Thank you for trying to sabotage our show. But anyway, let's keep it moving. Grab a seat.
I think the only thing I would say about Man City is they didn't score more.
Eh?
The only thing I would say about Man City is that they could have scored a lot more.
But not enough for you.
It's enough. That's Man City. But
I think for me, I think 5. I think if Foden would have squared the ball, it'd have been 5. And again, that could be the difference between the season at the end of the season with the session being a goal difference. Moving on to Manchester United. Again, Manchester United. Obviously, we did an episode on that.
Yeah.
Again, hopefully Craig liked and subscribed to it. I thought. Again, where do we start, Alfie?
I just think defensively, personally, like Harry Maguire still as captain, eh? We're talking about Manchester United here, and you don't need Harry Maguire as your captain. You don't. It's pathetic. And I think I'm gonna get some stick here, but I personally, at the start of the season, the one man I said to have captain was David De Gea.
After that performance.
You know what, right?
After that performance, hell no.
You know what? Harry Maguire being captain, you know who I blame?
Who?
The board. I think every Man United will blame that. Everything what they do, they could take a misplaced throw in and they blame the board for that. I think the fact of the matter is Man United need to take the players as well need to take some responsibility from it.
Of course they do.
They need to come in with an infrastructure where it's going to be right. We've got a technical director, which again the new manager worked on at his previous club and it was successful. I think it then takes the pressure off of him. I think as well you've got the infrastructure of the training ground. Again, they've got a good crop of academy boys that won the FA Youth Cup. So I don't know whether again, as a traditional of Manchester United, where you had a lot of those players coming through. Again, where they're in a little bit in a big hole, they're unable to experiment and use some of these young players.
I just want to ask you both a question quickly. Do you think James Garner should deserve more game time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think
we got
how
promoted as well.
How Manchester United in 2022 is still playing with Freddie McTominay, I don't know.
Well, they want to sell him for 20. They're asking price for 25 million.
Who Brian him?
He's a very good player.
He's a top player there.
Better than Fred. Better than
McTominay
McTominay.
combined.
For me, I would rather have. I would have an upgrade on both holding midfielders.
Yeah, they need to.
Regardless of whether McTominay is decent on his own, I just think that he's like a Xhaka. He's like a Xhaka.
Xhaka is improved.
No, don't disrespect to Xhaka. I think in terms of he picks up cards, he picks up bookings, and he just gets into, he makes needless challenges.
He got a yellow card, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just I imagine he's technically good.
Is he?
Is he?
Obviously on the those with chunks when they do these first touch on and stuff. He was right when I saw him when he first broke into the Man United midfield. So I know he's very technical. The only thing is that when he's off the ball, putting a challenge in, that's something else.
Mm.
So for me, I think they just need an upgrade. Who they get in, however, is another thing, because again, I don't understand how you let Pogba go, you let Matic go, and you haven't brought anyone in within that time. And knowing full well at the time, you had the Ajax manager at the time knew full well. I reckon he knew maybe a month or two before he signed the project. He was still at Ajax until the end of the season, so he should have had one eye on what enforcements he wanted at United, and then it's down to the board to then go, right, this is the list. We can't get this, but we can get this, and then get those players in, because they should have been in pre-season.
Yeah.
They should have been in pre-season. He could have then played those players in pre-season. He's played, as I said before, when we done the episode, that they played Fred and McTominay 5 games out of that pre-season leading up to the opening game. So he's seen enough of them, and I think he's trusted them to go with him. Seen that they flopped, and then now he's looking to get into that guy. What's his name?
Casemiro.
No, the one from Juventus.
Rabiot.
And then they've looked to get in the one from
If
Rabiot.
you were Manchester manager, what would be your 3 or 4 in midfield? What would you go for midfield this season?
If I was to use people from the club now,
So if you could, that's the thing. If you could bring in anyone, or of the Manchester United players they've got now, who would you get midfield?
I would go the people who don't know how much they can spend. That's the thing.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. I think for me, the question is, and I think it's quite an important question, is what if one of them gets injured?
Exactly.
Who do they bring in? That is the
Donny
question.
van de Beek.
We all know that they
Sorry,
really
Donny
signed.
van de Beek.
They have to bring in Van der Beek, and they'll have to maybe put Eriksen there, which again, it's not
Didn't
really much
work.
protection.
Didn't work.
But again, what I'm trying to say is there's not much protection
No.
there. So if it's already weak,
It's going to be
I
weak up.
it's going to be even more weaker just by having because again, there's nothing. I think didn't Fred recently come off an injury, quite a long injury, and then obviously McTominay with his suspensions, so it's a bit like Partey and Xhaka. So again, that isn't really the stability wise long term. I can't really see how that's going to work. They're going to need to bring in reinforcements between now and September when the transfer.
I think it'll be difficult now because that Andy Rabiot deals have gone apparently.
Yeah, it broke down.
Because
of wages.
The wages.
Yeah. So I think who are they going to bring in now?
They'll find off. I think
I think they'll panic by.
they'll panic buy,
Bye.
like how we panic buyed and brought Arteta.
Still did better 10 after.
And
Well, we'll never know. We'll never know. They might. All they've got to do is sign a couple of players that have hit the ground running like Bruno. Was it Bruno?
Yeah, Bruno.
Bruno Fernandes, and the rest is history. So I personally think if I was Ten Hag, I would just go, you know what? Let's just tear up, see have the season as a wash, and then just go, you know what? Let's just restart. Have a project. Get some of these youngsters in, have them play. Then next season or in January, then we can then look to adding the players in, and then from there we can then start the building blocks from there.
Yeah.
Liverpool,
Wow.
Disappointing in my opinion.
they've been shaky. Again, it's only the opening 2 games, so it is quite shaky. So what's your thoughts on that?
I think, as we said, Nunes let his team down, but I think he knows that. That's firstly how I go. I think one area they need to look at is defence. Who goes with Harry Maguire? Who goes with Virgil van Dijk? Because they played Reece Williams over Joe Gomez, which I personally thought was a mistake. I think Joe Gomez is experienced enough to fit next to Van Dijk. So I think that's one question where you have to be wary of. I also think, obviously, Thiago getting injured is bad for them, and it's going to be.
I think for me, you know, there's. I think that's the coach's decision on that. So again, he must have seen something in training where they go and make decisions and change things. I just think. That's his call, so he lives by that, and if it works, he gets applauded. If it doesn't, then he will then get
Everyone hates him.
crucified. I think Klopp to me deserves I think Klopp deserves, for me, I think he deserves a lot of credit, and I don't think the Liverpool fans should be panicking for thinking, oh God, he's made that decision. I think, to be honest with you, I would really, really like. I really like Klopp. I really like Klopp, and I like the way he's played. He's played his football. I know, obviously, from Dortmund. I've been following him. So he sets his teams up very well, and I think long term, I think it is I think it's a beneficial to them all that he is still the guy that still makes the decisions and no one questions it.
Do you think Liverpool need to make any more signings?
Yeah. I think their midfield's really weak.
Midfield.
You can't rely on Henderson. Obviously, Thiago gets injured. Fabinho gets his 1 or 2 injuries a season, so you can't rely on that midfield.
I think
30 games.
I think, to be really honest with you,
or even more with Champions League.
I think to be honest, I think Liverpool. I think they've always seemed like they've had a light squad where.
The same start.
I think
that's the squad that does well though.
But I think what with Liverpool is that they don't get injuries, so they're able to always have the same players playing week in, week out. If they may have the one player that gets a little niggle, and then you can fill him in for maybe 2 games, and then so it's usually going to be consistent of the same thing. I just think, for me, they at some point they're going to need a fresh up. Maybe because, again, Henderson's aging a little bit. So I think they might need an upgrade maybe next season. Yeah. So I think there's going to be some shuffles going on, because I know they bought a striker, Nunez, and obviously he's going to be playing 3 games, so he's going to be away. So that puts him on. If anyone's fantasy team puts them into.
My mate too will captain him. So he's got one more.
He's in trouble then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've covered all the teams. So that's all for today. Again, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next.